Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Remnant Shadow, our Star Wars actual play. I'll be your game master for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual is Sarah playing Io, Eric playing the captain, Jeremy playing Ozen, and Duba playing Doc. And let's see, what did we do last time?
Nearly died and then ran.
Only some of you nearly died.
And we stole a golf cart.
Yes, you did. Had a dramatic chase through the hallways of the
low speed chase
station.
It's a 5 mile per hour dramatic chase.
Well, we keep describing it as a golf cart, but it's really, a little speeder.
A tiny speeder, yeah.
For getting around a city-sized station.
Little tyke speeder.
It's still at best like a medium speed chase.
But yes, you managed to escape your captivity, retrieve a vehicle, and make your way into the portion of the station that the droids have been unable to enter for some time. I believe you were camping in one of the hydroponic areas.
I think we had just gotten there when we ended session.
Killed the ice cream truck music and parked.
I don't know. During the hallway chase scene, y'all should have been playing yakety sax.
Don't talk back.
A little bit of both.
Maybe yakety sax, but slowed down to match the speed of your vehicle.
Dramatic yakety sax.
It's like yakety sax, but with a. It's like yakety sax, but with like a jazzy.
But then it pulls back, and one of the Inquisitors watching you, it gets all dark and dramatic.
Yeah.
Very bass boosted.
But so we are starting up the next. We'll call it the next morning, though. The station isn't currently set up for our regular day-night cycle.
Day-night cycle. It's just space.
But after you've had some time to sleep, and I think the captain was fairly well patched up by the end of the session, wasn't he?
I think he was brought all the way back down to just one tier of injured.
Yeah.
And then he can make his heal check in the morning to possibly get rid of that.
Yeah.
And I think Ozen had taken some damage, but I think Doc had patched her up.
Yes.
And Io had, wrestled droids to no ill effect.
Yep, somehow she dodged.
Literally dodging a wrench to dodge a ball.
Managed to not get hit while trying to drive.
But, so it's the next morning. You have a vehicle, just a little bit of food. Whatever y'all had when y'all sell.
The barest of essentials, yeah.
Of course, you're in the hydroponics area, so you might be able to, find something.
Algae smoothie.
Very nutritious, though. It's very nutritious algae.
How is the hydroponics popping up? Is it making good progress, or is it just making progress?
It's ready. It'll be ready for its first harvest by the early part of the next week.
Okay.
there is enough now that you could feed yourselves.
Okay.
Its harvest is for well,
Harvest for
this
a
one
station
is
full of people.
this one chamber is enough for the entire station, but what it's considering a harvest is enough to feed a station. So
Yeah,
you can kind of pick out the stuff that's ripened a little early. Enough for 4 people? Because none of the droids have to eat.
Oh, my hair got all weird.
These things happen.
That's better.
But anyway, you wake up. Roger and BL have been on on guard duty the entire time. So they're over by the door.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine on our supplies for now, and if we're running low, we'll go to we'll hit the hydroponics up. Give it more time for more stuff to ripen.
There's plenty of access to water here in the hydroponics garden.
That's the most important part.
Yeah, the station has no shortage of water as far as you can
refill my canteen.
Look at it and sigh because it was supposed to be full of booze.
I think she does do that. Just like looks at it and is like, man, this time last year I was booze.
I bet I could ferment the algae. I bet I could.
Oh God, that would taste horrible. Probably.
Not that I would know. Also, for the dice goblins out there, I got a set of dice from Gen Con.
Oh, nice.
This isn't gonna be the D6 I use because I'd have to figure out which one's which because it has 2 that aren't pipped. But I do have they did come with a functional D6.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all are up, y'all are at 'em, y'all are eating breakfast.
Yep.
What are your priorities at the moment?
G and TFO, I think. Continuing further in.
We need to find some kind of weapons. If we have any plans of taking back the Rubicon at all.
Is any the ion thingies aren't shooting our droids, right?
Correct.
All right, cool. Then I think we just go deeper in and look like I said, look for weapons. Look for some stuff we can scrounge up.
Okay. So you're gonna spend the day basically searching further into the what would the droids call it? The Forbidden Zone.
The belly of the beast.
The unexplored area, because the droids have not been able to explore this area.
Sure.
Okay. You spend most of the day poking around. And you don't really run across anything that could be used as a weapon. Now, you could find some piping and some support material and stuff like that if you wanted like a club or a staff.
Guess you're starting your rebar fantasy early.
Yep. Give me the girders.
But yeah, this place doesn't look like it had a whole lot in the way of soldiers. Or at least you're not finding any of that kind of equipment.
Any active panels along the way to poke?
Not really in the hallways. There are some in some of the side rooms. Some of them look like kind of workstations. They're clearly constructed with like a Kilix physiology in mind.
Think
Multiple
long
hand-
fingers.
Multiple hand rests. There's the two that you know, and then there's two little ones, just a little bit off to the sides of them.
Tyrannosaurus ones.
Yeah, the chairs are not built for you at all.
I think Ozin turns to Io and is like, Io, can you get like schematics or something?
I was gonna try schematic, or at least maybe just a basic "you are here" kind of map.
That might work.
Okay. You're able to pull up a map of the area.
Is it in a language we can read?
Ozin can read it. No, we set it. We set
Oh, that's right.
the particular
we
one
set to human.
hydroponics. We set it to basic.
Yeah, you had set it to basic, so yeah, you're setting stuff in basic.
Basic.
That's right, because it had scanned your ship like the other base had.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this particular panel you're able to get into without having had the Force users do anything hinky.
That's handy.
Now, you can tell that this system is not plugged into like the major system on the station. But you can get a basic. You can't get a schematic of the base from this, but you can get a map of like the hallways. You know, literally the "you are here" map, and you know.
There's a Claire's. There's a Cinnabon. Yeah.
Does it point like this way for this or this way for that at the ends of the maps?
Depends on how much you zoom in or zoom out.
Sure. It's like not even if it doesn't go that far, if it just like has an arrow like this way to more hydroponics or something.
This way to nuclear warheads.
It mostly just has arrows. When you zoom in closer, it mostly just has arrows telling you which way is I guess axis versus radius. It kind of tells you if you're going further into the station or towards the outside of the station.
Gotcha. Okay.
Since you don't really have a north, south, east, west kind of thing here.
Right.
You're either going in deeper or going out. It's one or the other.
Yep. Still useful. Okay. This is satisfactory to Ozin. And then we go deeper.
Was there any? It's a long shot, but were there any cameras or anything that were active throughout the station, or nah?
You poke around looking for that, and you figure out pretty quickly that you'd have to find a security station to have any hope of accessing that.
Oh, that's another thing. Find a security station.
They are dotted.
Mention that on the map.
They are dotted throughout the station. You get the impression, particular places in charge of a certain area of the station.
Preferably one that's not swarming with, droids
Everything.
from the Clone Wars.
Droids,
see,
or
you'd have to get
Imperials.
to the security station to access the security station for it to tell you which security stations are being swarmed.
Sure.
All this is giving you is "you are here." Oh, there's a security station over here.
Ostensibly, the one right here by the ion cannons is not inhabited by droids.
Yeah, the one
you
further in, yeah. Imperials, though. Who knows?
We'll find out.
Do we have to?
We're going to have to regardless.
Did we say we were going to contact R2 in the morning, or no?
I don't recall. If we said it offhandedly.
R2 was trying to hold off the Imperials' whole hacker team.
R2 was busy.
And you had suggested him using the droid brains that help with astrogation. And he thought that would buy him a few extra hours.
Okay.
And Io had all of her programs to dump into the astrogation brains if need be. Because she gets bored on car rides.
Do you try to contact him?
That's a very important question.
Yeah. Would we know if anything could be true? We would know just being horrible people if they could be traced, right?
Yeah, if you used your comms, if you used your comms for very long, they could definitely trace it. And even a short message, if they have people sitting there waiting on you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find the security place. We might be able to find a camera in one of the bays. Hopefully the bay where the ship is.
Okay. So y'all truck it over to the security area or security station, and you're not running into anybody because none of the droids can make it back here. And from what they've said, you don't think they ever made it this far in.
Yeah.
Before their recycling program had upset the station.
Aggressive recycling.
So yeah, you get to the station, no problem. It's locked down.
Oh, whoa. Oh,
yeah,
no.
That's a shame.
Yeah, the regular workstations don't have much in the way of security on them, but this place it's locked at least.
They put a padlock on it. Too bad we have bolt cutters.
Plasma torch.
All right, this will be. Let's see to get into this. Oh, this is a security station. This will be very difficult.
I rolled a 32.
All right, it takes you a little bit. This is pretty good security, but in about 15 minutes or so, you pop the door open. And it is similar to the workstations. But there are more monitors up, though most of them are like holographically projected. But they all kind of pop on as you step into the room. They all sort of pop on. More of the computer systems that are set up for Kilix and.
Is it also in basic?
Yes. Everything you run into right now is in basic. Since when y'all were in the system in the hydroponics area, y'all had requested stuff in basic.
Now, not to cross the streams, but Star Trek is very voice activated, and Star Wars is not.
No, the only computers you tend to talk to in Star Wars are the droids themselves.
Yes. But would that apply to Kilix, who have,
Well, none of the computers have tried talking to you so far.
Right. But if I guess that's would be my thing if I was a Keelik. Be like, all my computers voice activated. I'm not dealing with having to type with my little claws. My scythe hands will do damage to a computer.
Not if it's one designed for you.
Even still. Anyway, I will walk in and start futzing around with stuff. Well,
Same.
I guess I will. I was mostly like looking for the most mundane of like, okay, now we get bigger map.
Do we have any weapon lockers or anything in the security office? She says in an offhanded way while going and poking computers aggressively.
As I see IL poke the computers, I'll look and see if there's lockers. Just like I'll look back and be like,
No, you do not see any.
Okay. That's a no.
For having this much power, they're remarkably pacifist.
Might be intentional.
Yeah, but it's not useful right now.
Well, ifs and buts.
All right, so I was trying to get into the system.
Yep, at least get some video feeds pulled up or something. Status report.
Go ahead and give me another roll. This is also going to be very difficult. Not that very difficult. It is very difficult for you.
That was low.
Oh, but you didn't quite make it.
Yeah, hence the
You get locked out of the system.
Oof.
There's like visible like irritation.
The computer has defied you.
How the dare you?
I think is like trying to look for a map of some sort, and then like gets locked out herself. Is like,
Ozen never got into this system.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have like a red flash on all the screens, and all the screens turn off. And there's probably like an annoying buzzer.
Burr.
No luck, I guess.
No luck. I would punch it, but I fear it may do something.
It'll definitely shoot an ion cannon at you, which may not do anything, but it might hurt the droids. So
You hear
Please don't.
Roger and BL from outside. Please refrain from getting us shot by ion weaponry.
Doing my best.
I was in like literally pleading with the computer, like, look, I just want a map.
You've got a map at home.
Map at home. Crayon pirate map.
It's a little Denny's map.
All right, well, the computers in here are locked down, so what you gonna do now?
How far away was the next security place?
Oh, probably a 30, 40-minute walk.
We have a hover round.
Then probably 10 or 15-minute drive.
I mean, I can run over there and look for it, and if you guys wanna, I don't know.
Honestly, at this point, the only thing I can really do is drive y'all. I don't have the usual stuff.
What is our? Go
I
ahead.
could hit somebody with a car, maybe.
Well, no, y'all got a couple of blasters that y'all took off the droid guards.
Only 2, and yeah.
That's nothing compared to the sniper rifle.
Well, you know, the tactical droid has probably got that stored somewhere.
It's on the ship.
Was that one on the ship? That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You had not pulled that. You had not carried that one with you because
all of the captain's standard heavy-duty weaponry is on the ship.
Did you leave the lightsaber on the ship, or did you have that with you?
No, that's on the ship too.
Okay.
In the do not look here box.
Usually all that stuff's probably in the do not look here box.
So, he legitimately has none of his standard gear on him.
That might be a priority then.
And no way to get to it.
Does what we currently have as a map show the next security checkpoint or security area?
I'm going to assume that you downloaded the map of at least kind of this quadrant.
Yes.
This floor of the base station. So yeah, like I said, you can find the next one. It's like I said, it's about a 40-minute walk or a 15-minute drive.
Okay.
Aggressive ice cream van music.
Captain just driving because he's pretty much the chauffeur now until he gets stuff.
Yeah.
only you
Hey,
had
at
put
least
points
you're
in
really good at
brawl
it.
like your hacker did.
Well, I put points in lightsaber, but I don't have that now either.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all drive over to the next security station. Give me a roll to get through the security at the door.
The door she's not worried about. She'll do the door.
Okay.
Of course.
Door, no problem. You get inside. The computers in here are not locked down, but as they come up, there seems to be an extra layer of security on them now.
Ooh.
That's nice. Trusting in the Force.
All right, you need a 40.
Yeah, you got there. You almost
The
doubled
76 will do, I guess.
it.
I can do all three things through spite that powers me.
The spiteful side of the Force. It's not really evil, but it's not necessarily pleasant either.
Somewhere along gray. It's like
Look,
lavender.
there were a lot of Jedi bureaucrats who were very prickly.
We're looking at you, Qui-Gon.
I like to be excuses, though.
Mm-hmm.
He was more what the Jedi were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you are in the security system.
That's what I thought.
Oh, you did it this time. Well done.
Kind of look. She's like, I don't know how to take that, so I'm not going to respond to it, and just pulling up cameras.
All right, you pull up the first camera you pull up. You see BL and Roger standing guard outside.
Hello. Kind of marking these cameras also on the map.
Okay. And there's not a ton of cameras. Not like you'd have in a facility this size, like in the real world. But you can look around at certain important places. You can see the you can take a peek at the hydroponics. You can get a basic report on how things are going there. Basically, if systems go offline, it triggers and security picks up on that kind of thing. In fact, there is a damage alert that is both recent and shows that it has not been checked yet. In fact, there's a lot of older damaged things that have not been checked, but the dates for that's way off.
She'll go with ones within the last 24 to 48 hours first.
There was a hull breach in one of the bays.
Yep, we knew about that.
Well, the players knew about it. I don't know about the characters though.
Well, the Imperial. It was it the Imperials?
If you're talking about the bay the Rubicon's in, that door was just open.
Ooh.
What this one picks up when you pull it up, it's a different bay.
Ooh.
And there's Imperials in there now. It looks like they cut their way through the door.
Just Imperials?
And that one, yeah. It's on kind of the opposite side of the station from where y'all and the droids were.
Alright.
But yeah, they seem to be setting up like a second beachhead here.
Oh boy.
Great.
It's not quite as populated as the bay with the Rubicon.
Speaking of the bay with the Rubicon.
Okay.
What have they done to my child?
Well, the ship has been booted.
Damn.
You've seen Rogue One, and they got the landing gear locked down some kind of way.
They impounded the ship, guys.
They gave up. They're like,
the gangplank is down.
they did not give up.
Fuck.
There's nobody like specially guarding it, but the gangplank is down.
Oh, it's yeah. They're yeah.
One thing you notice in the security software or security system is you have access to the station's comms.
She's just gonna like turn it on but mute their side to see if she can hear anything.
Zoom meeting.
Yeah, she's gonna mute and just listen.
When you try to pick up like other signals, there are other signals going around. Of course, if they're both the clones and the Imperials are all using military encryptions. But you can tell what frequencies are being used. You know, Imperial frequencies, you kind of already knew what those were.
Yeah.
And you can, the ones outside of that, you can kind of guess that some of those are probably the separatist frequencies that the droids would be using.
She's gonna find a little frequency and maybe try and just ping R2.
Okay. So you find a frequency that the Rubicon would be
compatible with.
Kind of on the lookout for. As soon as you ping it, you get a recorded message.
Beep.
Oh boy.
R2 is not available to come to the phone right now.
It is R2 informing you that if you're listening to this message, he is probably dead. Or maybe in the corner with a restraining bolt. Either way, he's not going to be able to help you right now.
I legitimately gets teary-eyed for a second. It's like, Dad, it's like, no!
Basically, he recorded this message just as they were getting ready to break through. He could have held them off maybe another 30 or 40 minutes. But the soldiers were getting agitated enough that they were bringing out, like, you know, cutting equipment and stuff.
Yeah, we need to be space-worthy, just in case.
Yeah, that was what he decided was, you know, in favor of keeping the ship space-worthy, since they were going to get in fairly shortly anyway. You know. He made the call. He hopes the captain had all the goodies hidden away.
She would play it so everyone could hear the message and just kind of glances around.
Ozan also like feels a tinge of remorse at dead, and then on the side with the restraining bolt.
Well, you know, he recorded this in advance. He doesn't know which it is.
Yes.
You know, but he's always been kind of a drama mama, so you know.
Yep. I'm going to smack that droid when it comes back into being.
That droid has saved her butt several times.
I've saved its butt several times.
I'm going to kill them.
The droid or
people who got into my ship?
Fair enough. I'm down for that.
You hear BL in the background. I'll help. Roger, Roger.
So, and she's like still flipping through channels, just trying, not channels, but like cameras, trying to just figure out where most of the concentration of people are.
You've got one firefight going on in a rather large intersection. A few smaller fights here and there. But so far, the Imperials have not really managed to push much out of the bay. You know, they've gotten down the hallways a little ways and like built barricades. Very French Revolution style.
Tables and everything.
Literally, I mean, just whatever they can strip out of the surrounding rooms.
I'm sure the station will be thrilled, but no.
If you look on the other side of the station, the other Imperials seem to be sending out like exploration parties.
Not as many on that side.
Captain,
Mm-hmm.
well, and probably Ozen too. As Io is flipping through screens, one of the ones showing that other bay comes up, and both of you see somebody in it that draws your eye right away.
Oh.
She's like flipping away if you guys don't say anything.
Hey,
Oh,
hold
what?
on, hold
But-
on.
Yeah.
There's turn back, please. Like one or
Goes
two more.
back 2 channels. This one?
Yep. Yes.
Ozen, you see a woman that you've met a couple
3
of
times
times now. Yeah, something like that. You ran into her on the planet with that the captain won that race on.
Uh-huh.
You kind of ran into her there a couple of times. Never really had a chance to speak with her much, but she talked to all of you, I think, when you were in prison with that Star Destroyer.
And then we
And she is
destroyed
currently standing there in her full Inquisitor garb.
Oh, and then we destroyed the shield generator on that thing. So they're pissed at us.
You think she holds a grudge?
You've
I think
also killed one of the junior Inquisitors, if I remember correctly. When you were
Yeah,
escaping with
well.
the children.
I'm
Yeah,
sure. I'm sure she doesn't remember us.
Captain, you're the first person. I mean, not that you all wouldn't recognize it, but you're the first person to recognize who she is currently talking to, though.
Oh.
Care to take a guess? It's an old friend.
Oh God.
That bitch.
Are they wearing a beak
joy.
mask?
They are wearing a beak mask.
Ah, funny that.
The station has ion weaponry, right?
It can generate ionic fields, yes.
Joy.
Though, if you mention that Io, you notice in the security logs, you can see years back when it triggered that failsafe because the droids were damaging stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It literally triggered it as a defense against, like, machinery that's gone wonky,
Yeah.
It's literally
Balrog,
classifying. Yeah, it's literally classifying it as malfunctioning equipment. So it was using,
I have no argument.
It was using the ion stuff to shut the equipment down. Once you arrived in the station, that turned off. Or not arrived in the station. Once you got to the hydroponics. In fact, if you match up the time, it may be just about the time the 2 Force users interacted with the computer.
She's trying to figure out how to turn that shit back on.
Maybe put a friendly like do not hit
anyone within our radius.
Mm-hmm.
The system is not that complicated. If the bosses aren't here and equipment goes wonky, it just shuts everything in the area down, with those ion pulses. If the bosses are here, they can handle it. Seems to be how it's set up. And it seems to assume, presumably, that any Force user is the bosses.
Oh, no!
Because, this station was built before you had Jedi or Sith running around.
Yeah, she's bringing that up.
Lovely. We need to get to the command center then.
I was going to say the hell off the station, but
we're not going to be able to get off the station. There's a Star Destroyer right outside the dock that has our ship in it. There's no way off this station unless the station itself has another ship in a hidden bay somewhere.
Flipping through the base. Come on!
Besides, I was given a very clear warning that neither army can have this station. Because the results would be catastrophic if they did.
Okay.
Kind of on that fence too.
How do we kill both of these armies with little old us and O2 assault rifles?
Which is why I'm saying let's get to the command station. We might be able to figure something out there.
Paging command center. Looking through the map.
You pull up the command center. Like everything else, it seems to have been kind of, more or less mothballed at the moment. everything checks out as far as the security system can tell. At least everything seems to still be functioning. Nothing's registering as offline, but it's empty. It does not look like anybody's been there for some time.
How far away is it?
A couple of miles.
Is there any way at all to set up any kind of security perimeter with the ions?
No. As far as the computer is concerned, the boss is our own station. You realize that these security stations, it seems to be more about more disaster management. Like if something were to go wrong, than really worrying about like somebody breaking in or.
It's like civil unrest.
Right. The Killicks are generally a hive mind. And from their own histories, when the Celestials show up, they kind of take control of them. So I don't think they had to worry about like a criminal element or anything.
All right.
It's hard to worry about a criminal element when everyone thinks the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're all criminals.
Well, that's fair.
Well, let's go before they also realize that the ion cannons are offline.
And you can see in the log, it's been years and years since the droids did anything that actually triggered them. They kind of figured out where the line was they couldn't cross, and the droids have not attempted fate.
Fair enough.
The Imperials, on the other hand, would not be aware that there was ever a line.
That's who she's more concerned about.
Yeah.
So, is there a command center of some sort?
About
Yes,
2
yes.
miles.
Core?
Yep.
2 miles? Okay,
You gotta get closer to the core of the station, and then like up a few levels.
That's easy enough.
But, yeah, it's not hard to get to.
All right.
Back into the minivan.
Onwards.
I think on the ride, or not immediately on the ride, but like as we're getting up closer to the command center, unless something happens between here and there, which possible. Ozin will touch our shoulders and be like, "You got this," and then sprinkle some force into her.
Let's hope.
Enhance another's attribute.
What attribute are you
Sure.
enhancing?
The technology.
Technical?
Technical, yes. Cool. I make the control difficulty, and now I do the alter difficulty.
Question. Since this is kind of a station, would that also be classified as a ship?
Is the station a ship?
Yeah, technically.
The station is mobile, yes.
Okay.
It does not have a fast hyperdrive, but it does have a hyperdrive.
Follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Back when Io was playing around going shopping in the black market, she bought a shipjacking kit. Would we say that could boost her hacking skill? Because it would give her additional 2D.
To shipjack. The center point station beta.
I mean, if we can move the station, that removes the destroyer from outside.
Yeah.
Or even just to give her additional dice for getting into shit rolls.
I don't think it would stack, and it would be designed for ships, basically the ships you're familiar with.
Okay.
This being an unusual more unusual technology.
Fair enough.
And being a station as opposed to a ship, it's just a mobile station.
Fair enough. Figured I would ask. Now she's got to steal the bounty hunter ship.
It was docked in the bay. It was the only non-Imperial ship there.
How big is it?
About the size of if you've seen The Mandalorian, about the size of his ship in the first season.
The Razor Crest?
Yeah, it's something about like that. Smaller than the Rubicon, smaller than the Millennium Falcon.
Would it fit in the Rubicon's bay?
No, it'd be
Ah, damn.
probably be a little big.
Okay, worth a shot. Okay.
Weight wise, this Rubicon might have been able to carry it, but the shape of the thing.
Height-wise. Okay.
Why y'all kind of keep trying to steal stuff from this guy?
Getting his helmet.
First you take his droid, then you're talking about taking his ship, now you're saying you want his helmet. How do you even know it's a helmet? Maybe he's a droid under there in his head.
I'm taking his head.
There.
Alright, Rocket.
Need that man's head.
How much
and his
for that,
leg.
How much for that arm? Oh, I'm getting that arm. He didn't know it turned to dust at the end of the movie. Spoilers.
How dare you?
Movie's been out for a minute.
We're in like phase 6, whatever.
Oh God.
Sorry, I ruined the ending of the last really good MCU movie. My bad. So anyway, you get to the you don't have any trouble accessing the elevator or the turbo lifts or any of that. You get to the control station pretty easily. Doors are locked though.
You have an extra dice for your technical rolls for 3 rounds, so ostensibly 3 rolls.
$34?
Alright, they get you in. Door opens as you walk in, lights come on.
You two try touching something before I try hacking something again. And pointing at Ozin and Iota.
In the center of this command station, there are 2 chairs.
Oh boy.
Clearly
Have a
made,
seat.
clearly made for a more human form than the kind of quasi benches that are at the workstations.
She just kind of like falls back and stands next to Doc and Roger and BL. Like,
Can you all come in so we can lock the door?
Oh yeah.
Like you guys have never lived in the hood or something.
I was like,
Ozin sits on a chair.
Which chair?
What do they look like?
There's one that the upholstery is, kind of a beige off-white. And then there's one that's like red and black.
I'll get the off-white one.
Sit in
Assigned
the
seating.
the edgy boy chair.
He sits down, he's mad, which just makes it fit into the chair better.
Yep.
I mean,
they got my fucking ship.
Yeah, he is pretty
Ship.
mad.
Droid has been kidnapped. Got nearly dead. Saw my sister. Edgy boy chair fits.
Anyway, you sit down. There's a little hum. Monitors on arms basically drop down from the ceiling in front of you.
Okay.
I say monitors. Monitors. There's also like a control key, think of a Star Warsy keypad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This one, shaped for somebody with like humanish fingers.
Yep. Well, I guess this is our turn.
Yeah.
You guys got this.
I will activate Calm on myself so that I can more embody the force that I'm supposed to represent. I make it.
I'm just grr.
No.
Activate Angie.
I'm picturing Ozin calming herself so she fits in more with what the person she's imitating. And then she just reaches over and gives the captain a purple nurple. to help him enact who he's supposed to be.
Just like, I apologize. Backhand.
He's pretty mad already.
Yep. Anything pop up on the displays, or are they just still just there?
Yeah, the general operating
It's
system
beta.
comes up just like you'd seen on the other computers when it was when IO first started hacking into them.
Yep. Is I guess from here I would be able to see the schematics.
But yeah, she's totally looking over shoulders.
Yeah, without any trouble at all, you pull up the schematics.
Okay. Just gonna look for anything that says not war room, but like some sort of if there's an armory on here on base.
It does not. The computer does not seem to understand even what you're asking for when you ask for an armory.
Okay. Cool.
This was not a thing built with
For war.
warfare in mind.
Sure. I'll check.
Move the station to get away from the station destroyers.
I was gonna say I'll check the fuel levels if there are any, if it needs any.
There are some. It's got a large amount of fuel, but of course it requires a large amount of fuel to move a city-sized station. But I mean, it's got enough fuel you could get to hut space if you just really wanted to.
Just roll up in there.
Just
Sounds like a terrible idea. Oh, distant. Okay.
Just roll up next to Nar Shaddaa and just push that moon into its planet.
Just
ain't gotta worry about the hut cartels no more.
Canonically killed the huts.
What was our hut guy's name?
Ludo.
Yeah. Just roll up and just pull Ludo up on the phone. Hey, step outside. Look up. Our ship's better than yours. Our ship...
Enjoy your last 72 hours, and then it just becomes Majora's Mask.
Before Marvel got the license back, before Disney bought Star Wars, Dark Horse did some of these they went through and did the original trilogy. What ifs if something had gone wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got one that ends with Yoda crashing the Death Star into Coruscant, and that is basically what he does. He calms the Emperor, who starts demanding. He's basically like, "Hey, come down here and we'll have a rematch." And Yoda's last words are, coming to see you I am. And you see the Death Star slamming into the palace. It was great.
That's actually really badass.
Wow.
Him taking the Death Star was kind of fun, too, because he just kind of walks down to the stormtroopers. Take me to the Grand Moff. He just mind controls everybody else at the command center.
Yoda, I'm too old for this shit. Just take me there.
I will. I think something else Ozin's looking for is if the ship can tell me how many people are on board at a given moment.
It gives you a life form count.
Oh, interesting. Is it counting droids as life forms?
It is not.
Okay.
Is it counting the algae?
It is, but that's bracketed off to itself.
Okay.
It's the food stuffs are listed under supplies, basically.
Yep.
They've got cows. They didn't tell us they had cows.
Yeah, but it's cows, but it's cows kind of like the cat in Red Dwarf. They've evolved and all this time.
That's fair.
And they're snappy dressers.
I don't know. Are you looking for anything, Ayurta? I would imagine you're looking for ship controls.
Yeah. And
This is just looking for all of these
and potential ways to have the station see about.
Could we depressurize sections?
Hold that thought. Thank you.
That's
Io, for reading
fucked
my
up.
mind.
I was like,
The captain is in angry mode. Is there? You said the ship was clamped down magnetically, so it's locked into place.
Mm-hmm.
It's booted, yeah.
Could they turn off the atmospheric barrier to the 2 occupied bays that have the Imperial troops in it?
That little invisible squiggly field.
To basically open the bays to the vacuum of space?
Yes, you could. Now, the force would not be enough to move the larger ships out.
Well, no, yeah, no.
That's what we're banking on.
I'm talking. That's absolutely what I'm banking on here.
The people standing around there, though.
Oh yeah. I mean, the stormtroopers would survive for a little while in their suits. But...
Well, what about Inquisitors? How well do they hold up to the vacuum of space?
Is their armor space rated?
No. Only certain ones.
I think they can survive for a little bit, but not. I mean, it's not going to be a long drawn out something.
Yeah, there's not.
Now, the
enough
ones down the
oxygen.
hallway and stuff like that, you'd have a hard time getting. And individual doors have individual, there's a lot of safety features to lock down because, they didn't want to lose all their workers if something happened.
I was just looking through all these ancillary features, and Ira's just like, can I kill like 20
Everyone.
people at once?
I played in a game one time where we vented the atmosphere out of a Star Destroyer.
It's good times.
Yeah, that's.
I say we. It wasn't me. It was.
That's kind of where.
Quasi
That's kind of
Sith
where
guy. Security.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm getting this from because I've done that before too.
Aha.
That's actually how I in a basic role play. That's how I got a cruiser. Is I was in a spacesuit. I had hacked into their ship, locked myself into a closet, and just vented the atmosphere on the entire ship. I had enough oxygen to survive. They did not. And then I re-oxygenized the ship, walked into the bridge, sat down like, this is mine now.
While he's planning mass murder,
There'll be dark side points involved. Don't worry.
I'm sure he'll gladly take them. That's fine.
I mean, honestly, given the scenario we're in where I'm supposed to be emulating the brother anyhow.
Sure. No, I get it.
It honestly would probably fit.
Mm-hmm. Ozen is like doing all, like looking through all of these things. Is there a way to change the dietary stuff from Keelik to, say, more humanoid?
The supplies that it's got are the supplies that it's got.
Okay. Wasn't sure if it could like, I don't know, not reconstitute, but like change what they're like. Yes, it'll become algae and it'll become something harvestable, but I wasn't sure if it could go into like
Rice.
Yeah.
No.
I think after the algae, it would probably try something like that, like a plant at least.
Oh yeah. It has other things that it will be trying to grow. The algae is just what it kicks on first because that's what it can get out the fastest.
Gotcha.
And it can act as a fertilizer.
Yep. Cool. Sounds good.
But yes, there are other vegetables and stuff that'll be coming online, but that takes months to grow.
Ayerda, murder, Ozen. What can we have for dinner?
Yeah.
Follow-up question to the murder bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, since you mentioned dark side points being involved, he was told by the Force Ghost of his sister that he cannot allow this station to fall into Imperial hands, or into the hands of the droids for that matter, from the Separatists.
Venting the atmosphere is not going to help you with the droids, though.
Yes, however, it is helping with the Empire.
One horrible problem at a time.
So, question would be, would I be gaining a dark side point by just shutting the fields off and clearing a whole bunch of Imperial troopers out of the bays?
But you'd also be killing like all the support staff, the cooks, the electricians, the people that might not even be here of their own free will, particularly. Granted, that could be said about some of the stormtroopers probably too.
Yeah.
See, next question. How many of them are actually there in the bay right now, since we have camera access?
There are several hundred in the bay. There's perhaps 2,000 on the station total. Because, you got exploratory teams, you got guys that are down the hallways. You've got people that are technically in the bay, but they're in their ships in the bay.
Hmm.
They're not like setting up tents outside the ships in this bay. They're using the ships like they're barracks.
Yeah. Well, first thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start cutting off the exploratory teams. Basically trapping them into hallways.
Okay. You can definitely sell off hallways.
What if we just made a big Thunderdome for them just locked off? The...
Let's get ready to rumble!
Well,
Two armies enter, one army leaves.
Basically, what he's going to do for right now is he's going to, with his connection to the station, keep an eye on where the heaviest fighting is.
Okay.
Because he thinks he can at least potentially reason with the droids. Maybe.
If not, ion cannon.
And if all else fails, kill the tactical droid, install Roger as the tactical droid. Bam, we have an army.
There's a few steps you have to get to.
Step 1, kill the droid. Step 2, question mark, question mark, question mark. Step 3, army.
Off it.
And honestly, if none of that works, we could just classify them all as malfunctioning machinery and ion field. Because that's proven to work.
Well, within certain.
They are decades old.
Still.
The station literally did that
obsolete.
everywhere that you could do that.
Yeah.
By the time that fail-safe triggered, they had already damaged the ion generators in certain parts, in those lower parts of the station.
Oh, I guess that's another thing while he's doing that. The status of the back area by the bay, like the structural status of that area. Where they had been taking parts.
I'm sure it's fine.
Structurally and as far as keeping it in atmosphere and all, it's fine.
Okay.
They were tearing out interior walls and circuitry and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. I don't want us to jump and then the back half just blows out.
Yeah, so
Cinematic.
So basically what he's gonna do is he's basically gonna Thunderdome the armies.
Hell yeah.
If there's reinforcements coming to reinforce an area being overrun by the droids, he'll slam a door in their face to seal off the reinforcements and either force them to go around or until the droids clear out that squad of troops and he'll open the door again. He's basically going to play man in the chair for the droids and basically cut and seal off sections of the station.
I wonder. This is probably Ozin speaking as the Jedi counselor in her, as she's looking at the next available algae harvest. She's like, I wonder if we could, if you were to seal off rooms that are convenient for the droids to rush through people, what if we could communicate with them while we're doing it?
Good question. Where is the tactical droid?
Do you begin searching through cameras to try to find it?
He's saying that out loud for Ozin to start looking while he's playing Thunderdome with the doors.
Yes, I'll start looking for the
Prison
tactical droid.
architect.
All right, give me a.
Honestly, for him, it's either this or he just starts venting sections of the station.
Could see if there's a chemical we could dump into the air to, maybe just make them all go to sleep. It would work on the droids, but
it wouldn't work on the stormtroopers either.
They've got
armor is
infiltration.
Yeah, stormtrooper armor is hermetically sealed for that.
Well, 25.
They've got to pee at some point, right?
How do you pee in stormtrooper armor?
It pees for you.
It's a still suit, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 25.
All right, you poke around. You never, at no point do you see the tactical droid on camera. Like I said, there's only so many cameras,
Mhm.
There's usually like one in each of the big bays, important hallways, whatnot. You do see an area that a whole lot of the droids are coming in and out.
Okay, so I see
It
like
gives
a
you a
door where
command
they.
center vibe, like that's
Yes.
probably where their base is set up. It's kind of a ways back from like the front line around that one bay where they're fighting the Imperials so much.
So it's like up and around the corner from where the front lines are.
Mm-hmm. You run across, and you run across that bay that where they had the machinery set up, like they, where they were building more droids.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be active again.
Ooh.
Though, if you watch it for a minute, you're pretty sure they're just repairing droids there.
Okay, so they're
Like
just
they
repairing.
pulled
they're
back.
not.
They pulled back destroyed units to like salvage parts, and
There's a
they're not
droid
assembly
like
lining out new
journey.
droids. But...
Sure.
So,
Just enough.
any luck?
Yeah. I see this like command center where I see well, I don't see him himself. I do see, however, the in and out of droids. So one could assume.
Well, open up a comm line in there.
I will do just that.
Wait, you got a 34? Oh no, you rolled dice. That's not what I'm seeing over here.
Yeah,
okay.
I rolled 25.
You rolled a what now?
25.
25. Okay. I looked over. I saw the last roll was a 34. I was like, oh wait a second, may have some other stuff. But never mind.
No, 25.
So yeah, you think you have figured out where the tactical droid is, though you never actually laid eyes on him.
Then I will make sure this room is locked. Open a secure channel, and just kind of ping and be like, a tactical droid.
You hear a response, and I'm picturing this one being less like a broadcast and more like a PA system.
Yes.
Specifically to that room, I'd imagine.
Yeah. This is TF212. Is this the Jedi? Is this the Jedi that I'm addressing? Yes, that was his designation. Y'all had heard the designation before.
Yep. You are correct.
Both of them at present.
Ozen's gonna like step back into that like government senate like thing for a sec here, so give her a moment.
Head back, shoulder square.
Murder.
Clipboard.
Yep.
No, you don't need to think murder. Ayura's doing that for you.
Murder covered.
And she'll say, "It seems we have a mutual enemy on board."
If you're speaking of the Imperial forces, yes, they're certainly my enemy.
Glad to hear that. Well, we are currently in the process of cordoning off areas to make it very difficult for them to pass through. We would like your assistance in taking them out.
If you're getting reports as to doors suddenly sealing off to your advantageous positions for you to deal with your enemies, that would be my doing.
I see. And what do you want in return for this help?
Our weapons.
Well, not being prisoners would be an excellent start.
You seem to have taken care of that yourself.
Yes, but I would like for your troops to not be hostile on sight like they have been.
I'd also like my lightsaber. It's lonely where it is.
We're also going to need it, considering what's on the station now.
That too.
So what you're proposing to me is a temporary alliance.
Yeah.
Also add in the fact that I know you wanted my ship and they currently have it right now.
Well, it's not so much that I wanted your ship as I wanted a ship.
I could probably
There's a
get him
large
that other
variety
ship.
of ships. There's a large variety of ships currently on station. So
I mean, honestly, if we can kill the bounty hunter on the station, feel free to take his ship. He deserves it.
there's a bounty hunter.
If you see a guy with a beak mask, take him out with extreme prejudice.
Not somebody in the standard Imperial.
Yeah.
Correct. They're desperate, it seems, if they're calling on bounty hunters.
How did he even find this place?
How did they
How did
even
any
find
of
this
them?
place?
That's a question for post game.
And I'll answer it just as soon as George Lucas answers how Boba Fett tracked the Millennium Falcon down in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Bounty hunters are just good.
Fair enough.
In fact, he put a tracker on it the first time he saw it.
I mean,
Oh, air tag.
if Star Wars Galaxy is anything to go by, there's just a network.
That's
Mhm.
fair.
Like, literally, you so much as do anything Force related in Star Wars Galaxies, the entire bounty hunter network, everyone who picks up the class knows exactly who you are at that point and where to find you.
Nice.
Good times.
It sounds it.
And,
Somebody give me a
momentum.
bargaining roll.
I think that's Ayerta's purview.
You know what? I'll trust in the Force with this. Why not?
Sure, we won't need it.
Well, I mean, if we're suddenly turning one of the hostile armies to at least neutral, I'll take it.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
That's literally removing half of the hostile force equation, at least temporarily.
And they
At
get
least
shipped and they can fuck
temporarily.
off.
Yeah, and if they want ships to leave, there's plenty of ships for them to use now.
Although the prospect of a bunch of droids in a destroyed Star Destroyer is kind of terrifying.
I'm just picturing really
29.
bad music blaring from the windows as they're driving it. Just hanging out the windows. They put a spoiler on it.
What kind of music would droids be into?
Electric.
Caramel
I was
dancing.
thinking techno, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I got 29.
All
So that's a
right.
lot of low rolls.
You know, I don't trust in the Force very often. I think I would trust in the Force.
What does he have to do?
What'd you get?
I got a 29.
Got 25, so you still beat.
Okay.
I was so proud of his roll, too. So yeah, there's some bargaining back and forth, and
Let's see, bargaining back and forth while I'm still playing Thunderdome with doors.
but
I could let these people through if you don't want to deal with us.
but very well, he is willing to return your belongings. His troops will be under orders not to open fire on you as long as you are not acting in a hostile manner towards them.
Good.
Sounds good.
Send somebody with our belongings to the command center.
Oh, do we want to let them know that they can go that far in?
They want to leave, so as far as I know, that is their.
Well, no, never. Good point.
If you mention that, he would actually question: is it safe?
I mean, if you don't want to risk it, then we can send somebody to you. It'll probably be better if we did send somebody to you, actually.
Yep.
Sounds like
I'll get in the
something.
car.
Okay. Io wants to go.
No,
Anyone need
I owe
anything
you-
while I'm out?
Yeah.
Roger volunteers to go with you.
Roger, actually, you could stay here. BL, go with her.
The two droids kind of look at each other like, okay.
Well, BL, you're the one that can equip the heavy repeating blaster, and if she gets caught under fire on the way there, I'd like to have a shielded droid with a massive gun returning fire.
There's a certain logic to that.
I appreciate living.
I'll rattle off the ETA.
Your Uber will be arriving.
Probably just outside of hydroponics then.
Where was the place we were pulling droids out of?
Just
You,
outside
It was
hydroponics.
hydroponics.
you pulled a couple out of hydroponics when you explored there, and then the next day they sent you somewhere else
Okay.
Yeah.
to actually pull back a bunch of droids that had gotten dropped.
Whichever one would be closer to where they're at right now.
Okay. Either
Just
way,
ping
you
a
got about an
location.
hour drive to get there.
Yep.
You know, at a safe speed. Now, if you want to
Ludicrous
floor it,
speed. No,
Please
she's
don't
not
floor it.
going ludicrous speed. She's
BL will take the wheel and floor it. He's shielded. He'll be all right.
yeah. BL will be fine.
Actually, we found out he's not. While that he doesn't have the gun attached.
Oh, that's right. The shield is part of the gun, yeah. But all right, you show up at the assigned rendezvous point.
His repulsor lift operation is 4D.
Gosh, darn droid can drive better than me. He can drive that. I'm chilling.
You get there. There's a bunch of battle droids and one destroyer droid. You know, they're in one of the little skiffs like you. Because you didn't have like a huge amount of equipment they took from you. But
Yeah.
but they were, your comms are there, the lightsaber is there, everybody's guns are there.
Well, the captain has his pistol now, anyway. Better than nothing.
Any other of your miscellaneous equipment they might have taken from you.
Appreciate it.
Because I know we said they didn't take IO's dim sims or anything, if she was even packing those.
She didn't take the dim sims. She mostly just brought her hacking stuff.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, anything they took from you, you've got back.
Woo!
We got toys, folks.
We do have toys.
You can give Doc his blaster once you get back.
Yeah.
I am too killed.
Harm assist.
Give Keltzer all her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So during the 2-hour round trip, what are you guys doing?
I'm playing Thunderdome.
I was gonna say he's still playing Thunderdome over there.
You start getting the security system starts poking in with damage assessments. Where you've been sealing the doors, the Imperials have just started disabling the doors as they get to them. You have definitely turned the tide of the fighting for today at least.
Yeah.
The Imperials have suffered higher casualties than previous. The droid managed to push them back, but
Making the droid look good.
Morale boost.
But clearly the Imperials have caught on, maybe not to who's doing it or how it's being done, but they've started disabling doors, the blast doors as they go.
Yeah.
Shame.
Okay.
I'll also look in the time frame, looking through just charting courses, like theoretical courses, not actual courses. I'm not actually astrogating, but I'm just checking to see how far we could get on a jump and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, the jumps are going to tend to be short here in the nebula.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just have to be careful. It's kind of a navigating hazard, so you got to be kind of careful.
Yeah.
So it'd be several smaller jumps. And the station was put here for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got some leeway in how far it can go while it's still kind of fulfilling that purpose. But
At some point, some Celestial's going to be pissed.
who moved my car?
Spoiler, they already are.
Sounds about right.
Well, we have to come up with a creative way to can't go too far, but we still have to not scrub, but take this somewhere within its purpose and ensure that people do not get their hands on it.
Well, you work on looking for that. They're starting to catch on to my shenanigans with the doors.
Aw, well, it was fun while it lasted.
I mean, I could still just start venting things.
Save that for a plan C.
That's plan B.
Talk you down to C at some point. It's fine. And yeah, I'll just keep doing that. And then our stuff comes back.
Okay.
Is there anything, as I'm looking through jumps and then I start going back on security detail, is there anything that leads me to believe that they are making their way towards like this direction? Either faction's coming in our direction.
Oh, give me a search.
Yeah. That's low. 8, 9, 10, 11. 15.
15? No.
Okay.
No, you don't see any major forces heading your direction.
Okay. Just making sure.
I need IO and BL to give me perception rolls.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got a 6. What up?
He's busy driving. He don't notice nothing. His eyes are on the road. Or hallway.
As where they should be.
Every now and then, he looks lovingly down at his repeating blaster and pets it.
12.
You're back.
For some reason, Io keeps hearing Careless Whisper playing on a kazoo next to her.
Okay, in that case, let me check
No.
something.
Just something, right?
Nothing important.
Just
Just somebody's some attribute points on somebody.
Just the things.
Mm-hmm.
And a book.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a force power.
As long as it's not from that place where we got the hell droid. Although, not gonna lie, hell droid was fun. Granted, I was not getting shot at.
There we go.
It sounded like at least 3 or 4 dice. Probably more.
You're zipping along. I mean, you know, not super fast, but you're probably going, 20, 30 miles an hour.
For the wind in my Leku.
Well, I guess it'd be kilometers.
Mm-hmm. Kilometers per hour.
And your vehicle suddenly kind of turns to the side and just jerks to a stop.
BL, eye on the... What?
Yellow eyes on 10 and 2.
What's going on?
BL... Let's see here. All right, BL goes flying out.
No!
Io, give me a dexterity or strength, whichever you prefer.
Can I roll brawling? No.
No, this is just a raw
dexterity
stat.
or strength? Okay. Dexterity's better. We'll go with that.
All right, need a 15.
Oh, that's not gonna happen. Oh well. No, why did I roll 2? I have 3.
Well, roll one more then and add that to the 10.
Yeah, it wouldn't make it because it's 4 plus 5 plus 2.
All right. Give me a strength roll versus some damage.
Oh,
You're fine. I mean, bruises and scratches probably, but no serious damage. As you go, flopping out and just kind of hit the ground and roll a time or two.
not my first car wreck.
Definitely not the first speeder wreck of the campaign.
Nope.
Not even the second. Maybe the third? Depends if you count the ones in the race as 1 or 2.
Less vehicle hijinks with the next game, maybe.
Alright. So then BL needs to roll. Would he have his... Would his shield, would the heavy blaster be considered attached while he's driving? Is it literally something like couples onto him, or just something that he's holding?
You're muted.
Doesn't really say. Just says it comes with it. I'm not sure if it'd be like the pack that like it's something that gets equipped that turns on, or if it's part of the gun.
I bet you it's part of the pack.
Part of the ammo pack, yeah.
It's still all plugged into one system, but he probably wouldn't be wearing it if he was sitting in a seat trying to drive.
He missed it so much, he might have plugged it in immediately. Especially since Captain mentioned he would be armed with a heavy repeating blaster.
Let's see, an energy field gives him... How much extra protection does that give him?
The shield is 6D.
Okay, never mind. Ain't no point even rolling all that. That's enough. He's not going to take any real damage either.
I just picture this long cord that's like the weapon is... He's got the shield generator on, and the weapon's like attached to the shield generator. Just... Oh, nope. Oh, wait, it's attached. Never mind.
Like those curvy, spirally cords like old telephones.
Yeah.
So that all happens real quick suddenly. You look over, you see a familiar woman with her hand outstretched towards the vehicle.
Oh, fuck.
Running from either side of her, you see, an armored figure with a beak-like mask.
Io is trying to make a break back to the vehicle to at least grab the lightsaber to try and then make a break. Okay, never mind. She's probably not going to get that chance.
And then coming around the other side of the Inquisitor, somebody else in what you have to assume is Inquisitor getup. And he's got, there's something in his hand that's doing the snap hiss as he runs forward.
Boy.
The bounty hunter has got his gun pointed at Io. Hands where I can see him.
She'll at least put him up. She didn't have a gun on her in her hand anyways, so...
Yeah. And the stuff you were carrying got thrown out, It's scattered across the hallway here.
Eyes may be darting around to try and see where certain stuff went.
Give me a search roll.
Can I roll search to go through these cameras and see what the hell's going on?
No, you got no reason to think anything's going on.
Yeah, I don't. Except that there's a siege going on.
Yeah, but the siege is way off somewhere else. Alright, you did a 15 at least.
That didn't happen.
Okay. Just because of everything going on and just how quickly the stuff got scattered.
She got an 11. She's like, Looking over at BL like...
BL's starting to pick himself up. The banner's like, BL? Do you remember me? BL kind of gives a negative shake of its head. The bounty hunter looks down, you got UIO, and you see the little eyepieces that's kind of narrow as they focus in on you closer.
Get that mask. Oh, wait.
You wiped him.
Not me. I mean, I could, but it wasn't me.
BL speaks up. She tends to handle the computers, but the captain tends to handle the droids. Should I know you?
He left you.
Ooh, like where this is going.
They'd cut you in half. I was planning to come back for you, but they left the planet with you. I wouldn't have taken your freedom from you. But what? He was an independent droid until y'all got your hands on him.
I don't think we put any protocol on him to, like, bind him to us.
That's pretty default when you wipe a droid's memory. He has definitely been reacting to the captain, so the captain was his owner this whole time. Even if he's a little more grumbly than most droids. But the other Inquisitor walks over. You know, lightsaber at the ready if BL tries anything. But with the bounty hunter pointing a gun at Io, he chooses not to. And the Inquisitor attaches the restraining bolt to the front of him.
Figure it out, BL.
He then orders BL to stand up, makes him take the pack off.
Just don't scratch it. He really likes that gun.
What was the bounty hunter's name? Corvix? Something.
Corvus.
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 Can't remember if that was his first name or his last name, but good enough.
Bird.
But yeah, Corvus is like, that is a pretty nice gun.
Don't get too attached. It's not yours.
No, it's BL's. Don't worry, buddy. Once I get you fixed up, I'll make sure you get it back. Another little speeder sled thing comes up. This one looks a bit, I can't say nicer, because everything in this station is pretty advanced, even given its age.
Looks a bit more Imperial.
A bit more Imperial, probably got a little more oomph under a few more horses under the engine, or nerfs, or however they measure engine power.
A couple more Aobi.
There's a couple of stormtroopers there that get out. If Io's not going to resist, they shackle your hands behind your back.
She's not resisting, but she's definitely like, she doesn't believe in the Force a lot, but she's like definitely trying to like, guys, notice, guys.
They also give you a pat down for any equipment. And basically anything they pull out of your pocket, if it doesn't look particularly interesting to them, they just drop them on the ground.
She's not going to make any reaction because she's hoping that someone will pick it up.
But yeah, they load you and BL up in the back of the speeder. Corvus and like the junior Inquisitor get back there with you. The head Inquisitor, he's giving you a look. Once you're shackled, he's kind of giving you a look. Fancy meeting you here. We just seem to keep running into each other.
Yeah, fancy that.
She motions. We'll have more of a talk later when we're in safer surroundings. Just me, you,
Looking
a little
forward
black
to it.
flying droid. It'll be great. Where's the redhead?
The drunk?
If that's the redhead.
At this exact moment, hell if I know.
Well, I'm sure you'll remember once we really get into the discussion.
Io just nodding, Io internally screaming.
Captain.
Mm-hmm.
You were playing your little shoots and ladders game, you know. Shut these doors, open these doors. Ah, crap, they welded through those. Like I said, you've got the Imperial. The Imperial seem to be in retreat for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's quite a few stormtroopers just laid out on the floors with the droids walking around and, you know, taking their guns and, you know, kicking them, make sure they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
A few instances of them finding a stormtrooper that wasn't quite dead and remedying that situation.
Double tap.
Only way to be sure.
Church of the Double Tap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Almost like you weren't controlling your own hand. You type in a different set of coordinates, and you see Io being put into this speeder. You see Corvus, you see the two Inquisitors as they hop in and drive off. Ozen, you feel kind of you feel something in the force, and then his aggression, and then his aggression spikes up. Almost like there was somebody standing over your shoulder for a second there, but there's nobody there.
Flames the side of my face.
Yes, let the hate flow. I have marshmallows to roast.
Something raw. Oh.
Yeah, you look over at his monitor.
Yeah.
From the position of the camera, you would probably just see the speeder off a little bit in the distance, but Corvus is a pretty obvious profile. So.
Yeah.
Purple Leku.
I was gonna say, do I see Lekus? Ah.
You probably see
she keeps that stuff like wrapped.
Mm-hmm. Line of action.
I'm gonna start digging through the controls of the station.
All right, what are you looking for specifically?
You said they're all going into retreat, right?
Yes.
Where are they retreating to?
They're falling back to, like I said, they had gotten a little ways down the hallways.
Mm-hmm.
They're not retreating all the way back to the bay, but they are pulling back to some of their earlier defenses. You know, where before they were trying to push forward. They're falling back and regrouping.
Okay.
As he's doing that, I will not calming him by any stretch. I'm giving him another dice in his perception.
Okay.
Because that's what he's doing right now.
Roger, I'm gonna send you some coordinates.
Okay, where do I need to go?
He'll send him the coordinates of where that abduction took place.
Okay, it's not too far from the big turbo lift.
He'll pretty much tell him, get the things, get the speeder, get it back here.
Roger, roger.
Is there
Save
anything?
my security kit.
Yeah. Is there anything in the station where he could designate people as needing to be removed?
No, the station doesn't distinguish. Nothing in the system seems to have any systems for detecting life forms as hostile or dangerous.
There's no bouncer protocol.
That did not appear to be.
Damn.
It was always it was always just the family and the Killicks that they could completely control through the force.
Mm.
But yeah, 30 or 40 minutes later, Roger is back.
Just
Took a
grab
little while to truck down there, and then
Mhm.
well, probably closer to an hour because
There's
he,
an hour
doesn't
round
he doesn't
trip.
have the speeder to drive down there. He's got to walk down there and get the speeder.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's fine. But he does come down here.
But yeah, he does go and fetch your stuff and the speeder.
Should we tell the tactical droid that we're going to go deal a considerable blow? If we're trying to work this alliance out.
At this point, you haven't even told him about the second group of Imperials.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. Get the tactical droid on the phone and let him know about that.
Be another bloop bloop. Tactical droid.
This is TF-212. Is this the Jedi?
This is she. There seems to be some Imperial forces leaking from somewhere behind you.
Do you have a location?
I'll give them coordinates.
Unfortunately, we can't get to that bay without passing through the ionized areas.
I shut them off. Move.
There you go.
I do not take orders from you. However, I recognize a good idea when I hear one. If they're building up another set of forces to come after us, then obviously we need to nip that in the bud.
Have fun. And then shut off. Shall we?
Side point, if you guys got all the weapons, Doc would then be able to possibly use Io's stolen droid blaster. The 5D one.
That's true.
Just so you know, in case you wanted to not be wielding a noisy cricket.
Oh, did Io specifically have a droid?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when we took down the droids, we had the two guns. Io was carrying around one of them.
Gotcha.
She would have
you mean
probably
the
not been
blaster,
like...
not...
Yeah.
I thought you meant like an anti-droid weapon, like he had some kind of
Nah.
blaster or something. Okay, I got you.
No, she wouldn't have been like holding it lovingly as BL was, but it would have probably been in the speeder.
Yep. So yeah, I'll give him those coordinates and then be like, "Shall we, Captain?"
Yes, I believe we shall.
Grab my lightsaber.
How many troopers are currently in the base?
And in the station total, it was around 1,000 when you checked earlier that day. They've suffered a couple of hundred casualties.
Okay.
Your door campaign, your door campaign was very effective.
Okay, so
it became less though as the day progressed, but
Right. So how many doors have been locked into opening and unable to now be closed in the case of explosive decompression?
Oh God.
Several dozen through some of the hallways.
Cool. How many of them have stormtroopers in them? Since they were cutting through those
back
areas.
to some of their barricades, but there's still stormtroopers in basically all those hallways, just further back, closer to the bay than there were.
Please make sure Io is not in one of those hallways. Just throwing it out there.
He's checking. Is Io and the speeder that currently has her abductees anywhere near there?
Give me a search roll, see if you can find it on some of the cameras. Because like I said, not every hallway is mapped is covered.
Okay.
They did remove all of Io's stuff. That air tag on her is probably gone too.
Yeah, you go
12.
Nah, you
got
don't really
12.
find her. It stands to reason that they were probably heading to the that secondary entry point, but you don't actually know. How much of a gambler does the captain feel like being?
He like he was flying off in a window nearby.
It would not be the first time a Jedi had accidentally flushed a bunch of people out into space.
It won't be the last.
The restraining bolt on BL, does that interfere with his comm network?
He can't comm when that's on. He can't really do anything except follow very simple instructions like move forward or whatnot. He can't take any real independent action, which includes it would include sending a signal. I don't know about receiving one.
I think that's what he was getting at, actually.
Yeah.
Can he listen to the voicemails if he gets them?
But basically what he's going to do is he's going to ping BL to see what BL's location is and cross-reference that.
We're going to check the GPS tower signal on BL's phone and triangulate.
Lovely idea. Let me just give a quick read on what a restraining bolt actually does. Let's see, restraining bolts also a lot of times have handheld devices that compel the droid to stop what it is doing and report it to its master.
Huh?
That would literally be where they could hit a button and whatever he's doing, he'd stop and walk over to him.
Yeah.
Just starts walking to command center.
Turned off a droid's motor impulse without actually shutting down the droid. Could be used to shut down a droid and power it back up again, and could force a restart if there's an error in the droid's memory.
Have you tried turning your droid on and off again?
But, does anything about shutting off their functions?
Nope. Obviously, you could order one with a restraining bolt on not to talk to anybody, but I think it would pick up the signal just fine.
Yep, he's gonna ping it.
BL, I'm about to do some crazy shit.
Are you sending an actual message, or is it just kind of a ping?
No, it's just a location ping.
Hold on to your iron pants.
Io, as y'all are traveling, at some point you see BL kind of give a little, almost like a human startling.
You all right?
It's real something. Oh yes,
probably uncomfortable with the bolt. Yeah.
Yes, it's quite infuriating.
Yeah, I'd admit. A little bit similar, yeah.
Their location is where?
You bring it up on the schematic.
Beep, beep.
They are in one of the big hallways, headed towards the one set of bays. They're clearly heading back to that secondary entry point.
Cool, I'm gonna slam a door in their way.
How much in their way?
Oh no!
We're not gonna run into it, are we?
If they don't stop, they will. But what he's going to do is he's separating where they are away from the area he's about to vent.
Okay.
That is his intent, but if they don't stop, they're slamming into that door.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna take them a sec to weld through it too. Even with a lightsaber, as we have established in the canon.
And if he keeps that area vented, if they start welding through it, then it'll start sucking oxygen out and they have to stop. Effectively trapping them there.
All right, so you're basically shutting off where she's at from the other side of the station.
Yep.
Okay.
And since the stormtroopers have decided we're just gonna blow all these doors open, Captain's like, "Okay, bet."
Let me help you with that.
And he's going to seal off the station from the stormtroopers,
Okay.
like from where they fell back. And yeah, he's going to deactivate both the fields in both those bays that keep space out.
Alrighty.
No, the algae.
Algae's fine.
Yeah, Algae's fine.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, it's in the hydroponic stuff is kind of sealed off. Just the equipment itself is kind of sealed off.
Good. All right.
You probably wouldn't want to leave it sitting there and vacuum for days, but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Vacuum algae.
Or you'll all starve. A very ignoble way to end a campaign.
One of the TPKs.
The lamest TPKs.
Yeah.
I mean, you say
That's
this,
TPK.
but I had a TPK where I killed them all with the Jabberwock. So
Oh God.
In some games, Jabberwocks are not any joke.
yeah.
In Feywild
They're-
games for sure.
Yeah.
I think
No,
they're fairly rough in RuneQuest too.
Well, I mean, the thing is I was DMing Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Ah. I've never actually looked at
So
their D&D stats. All right, give me a computer program control as the station is trying. There's fail safes for this sort of thing.
Mhm.
Let the spirit of Io flow through you.
Well, here's the thing. It's programmed to follow the commands of the.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it's also programmed to not let them accidentally kill themselves.
Yes, but we're not there. We're in the command bit. We're in the command room.
There are still fail safes. Please
Okay.
give me a report.
Fine.
This isn't gonna be one of those where you got to roll a 30 or something because
Well, I mean,
You're not
this
me.
is just you trying to bypass the fail safes fairly quickly.
yeah. Well. Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You needed a 15, you got a 16.
I'll say there should be another dice in there anyway, so add another 6 to that.
The character sheet is useful, but it always just decides to drop dice.
Mhm. In real space, you wouldn't be able to hear them screaming, but this is Star Wars where there's sound in space.
Yep.
In Star Wars, where Disney has a sound team.
Well, Lucas had a sound team before that. So yeah, when you see the main bay, yeah, you see a lot of people go. Some people manage to grab onto stuff. Some of the equipment slides around. None of the ships really move. They give a little shudder as the air moves by. There are some containers of supplies that kind of pop. You see, some people get sucked out of the hallways. Most of them don't actually get sucked all the way out, though. After the initial decompression, you see some guys getting up, grabbing at their throats. Some that are close to ships are scrambling to get up into their ships. You even see one stormtrooper that manages to struggle his way up the gangplank into the Rubicon.
But if the air got sucked out of there too.
Well, the gangplank
Especially if
shuts.
it's up.
Whether the ship will,
Fair enough.
re-atmosphere itself, recompress itself. I don't know what you call that.
Repressurize.
Whether it'll do that in time to save you or not, well, I guess you'll find out when you get back to your ship. Oh, we got a dead stormtrooper here.
Dead Stormtrooper. All right, double tap.
Oh, he's been here a little while.
Don't open the seal. Don't you? Oh, you took the helmet.
Aw, it's just goo.
That's horrible. It's horrible.
And just shudders a little bit as something like 60 to 70 people just die.
60 to 70 voices cry out and immediately silenced.
Ugh. Ugh.
A bunch of droids are trying to figure out why they can't talk now.
Plenty.
Okay, so once that's done, he's gonna jump the station away from the destroyer.
All right. You try to power it.
See?
You try to power it up to jump. The engines are offline.
And why are they offline? What warning is being given?
Apparently, they were shut down intentionally. When this thing was kind of mothballed, not mothballed exactly, but you know, when it was
Parked.
kind of set here, this is its permanent location. Apparently, they were taken off for maintenance and just were never put back on.
Can I reactivate them from here?
No, you'd have to go down to engineering.
Makes sense.
Fair enough.
All right. He's gonna leave those sections of the station vented. So the Inquisitors would have to kill themselves to get back to their interrogation ships.
Well, that's on the
Yep,
opposite side.
now-
That's on the opposite side of the station.
Now, well, the thing is, now we can't get to Io.
No, we can. He sealed Io and the Inquisitors on our side of the station, not
I understand.
not the depressurized section of the station.
I understand now. Okay.
All right. If you think of the station as kind of round,
Mhm.
the main troop thing was over here, which you have depressurized. Then there's the center area, of which the control center is like a little bit above, a few levels up.
Mhm.
And then over on the opposite side is where the Inquisitors had come in.
Yes, and he vented that one too. He
Okay.
said both bays. He vented them.
Oh, okay.
Inquisitors can survive off hate, so not so much of a disturbance in the Force.
Yep. So he's cut them off from their reinforcements and their ship. So it's the bounty hunter and both Inquisitors.
And a couple of
And-
stormtroopers.
Yeah, and that's it on our side. He's effectively cut them off from their army.
So Io, you see the door drop down, thump.
Oh, he's still playing that game.
Stormtrooper slams on the brakes. You know, there's enough of a lead that they've got plenty of time to actually stop. Because the captain wasn't trying to cause an accident.
Whiplash, whiplash.
I'm gonna sue. I mean, without missing a beat, the two Inquisitors are out, lightsabers heading to the door.
What if there's a PA system in there?
And the younger of the two, the dude, you know, he gets there, he does the whole drawback, stabs the sword in. Think like episode 1 when the blast door came down. You know, it's taking a while to melt its way through.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a you can have a conversation while this is happening kind of thing.
Yeah. The woman though stops. You see her kind of almost cock her head, almost like she's trying to listen for something. And then she grabs the first one by the shoulder. Stop. When he asks her what's going on, she tells him a lot of our troops are dying. And then she turns around and she locks eyes with Io.
I'm sitting right here. Whatever you're thinking I'm doing.
She walks. She has one of the troopers give her a comm unit. What frequency are your comms on?
You took my comm that I was taking back to whatever. She'd give him the comm frequency.
Those of you in the command center, a message. Someone trying to contact you over the comms.
Is that while we're getting ready to get on the speeder and head over?
It's definitely after you have your comms back.
Yep. Ozone will answer, I guess. Yes.
You hear a woman's voice, a voice you recognize.
Oh, redheaded. I was like, shit, Ozone would answer.
Mm-hmm.
This is the redhead, isn't it? I think you go by
Who's
Ozone
asking?
at least some of the time.
It's burgundy. Go on.
Oh, it was graying when I saw it.
Hey.
Can I help you?
Sorry, I was trying to find her name.
That bitch.
You're
Sister
not
something.
exactly wrong. You're not exactly.
Did she ever
wrong
give
at
her
all.
name?
I was thinking I had given the names.
I don't think she did.
Yeah, if they ever did, it was
No.
never to one of us.
Yeah,
Usually it's just Inquisitor.
Numbered sister.
Yeah, you might be right. There's Airstyle, Jobin. That was the two racers.
Mm-hmm. If you're going that far back, then you got nothing.
Octank Corvus, that was the bounty hunter.
Oh, Octank. We just called him Corvus.
Yeah,
As a
we
verb.
just, yeah.
There's three names. Those may have been the racers.
I think it might have been.
I don't remember ever getting a name for her.
Yeah.
Or really any of the other Inquisitors either.
Nah, we never really got a name for any of them. They were just
the Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Make it up on the spot, Jason.
Inquisitor. This is Inquisitor Haskell.
Karen.
You guys are doing names now.
First sister Haskell.
Still.
We've of course met a time or two. I'm sure you recognize my voice.
All too well. Can I help you?
What have you been doing? What are you doing to my troops?
I'm not doing anything.
Packing Space is doing
Play coy with me again, I will take one of the Twi'lek's fingers. And you hear a snap hiss. Io, you see the snap hiss.
Io somehow keeps her composure and doesn't go, please no! She is sweating though.
What are you doing to my troops?
If it's calm, then all of us can hear that. Yeah,
She's
I
not
heard it myself.
lying.
Okay.
She's not doing anything.
Io, she turns towards you and steps forward.
If you wish to have the correct terminology, I'm the one doing it.
What are you doing to my troops?
Killing them.
Stop.
Why?
Because I have the Twi'lek, and I suspect that you care for her.
And I can open the door and kill you. So you can kill her and I kill you, because she's your only bargaining chip. So do you want to try that with me again and lose your life as well?
You hear Corvus leaning over to BL. See, he doesn't care anything about you.
Yeah.
I haven't stopped hunting for you since they stole you.
You're really bad at finding people then, because we've been to a couple. Never mind. I was like, not a conversation to have when my life is and fingers are on the line.
Is this the captain?
'Tis he.
Well, you seem to be one that deals in absolutes. Like your friend has to be alive or dead. I can do a lot of things to her that she'll live with. Possibly live with for a good long time.
And I can keep doing things to the rest of your soldiers as well. See, the thing is,
I suspect you care more for her.
Shut up. I'm not done talking. You do anything to her at all.
Io, she presses her lightsaber up against your arm. Not like she's lopping it off, just psst.
What do I have to roll something to not scream?
If you're trying not to scream, give me a strength roll.
Sure. Damn, I wish I could brawl. 9.
How much damage should I roll? I mean, she's not hitting you with the thing.
Heat burns.
Yeah, I mean, she's burning you with it, but it's not like she's doing her full lightsaber damage.
Yeah. Io's probably been burnt by stuff before, considering her background, so I don't know if that would factor into it.
If you want to do either the base lightsaber damage or her control roll,
you know what?
whichever
I'm
is
just
lower.
going to assign it a difficulty of. We'll go with moderate. Because it's, at the moment she's doing she's effectively like, it's almost the effect of a cigar if she had a cigar was sticking with it.
Gotcha.
So what did you roll on your strength?
9.
All right, it's a 15. You make it always. You don't necessarily scream at the top of your lungs, but it's something loud enough to carry through the comms.
There's just discomfort noises.
The door starts opening.
Yeah, he will kill me to prove his point.
She
So
just sort of rolls the blade a little
atmosphere-
bit on the arm.
Will she be able to do that while she's getting pulled out through atmosphere? Because she's the one that stood up. Io's still in the car.
Well, she's in like the back, like it's like a little truck.
Well, yeah.
Child seat.
But she's probably still, like, strapped in so she can't get away.
Let me see here. What is the telekinesis falls under altar?
Telekinesis falls under altar.
All right.
Oh, I see what's going on.
And
She's going to hold herself in place.
She is
Oh, okay.
currently doing something else as well, so would she have minuses to those dice
Sure.
while she's controlling her lightsaber?
She's got enough dice, it's not really going to matter.
It might.
She can roll ones. Come on.
All right, she got a 23.
Not bad.
Not
So,
bad. How many dice?
Where the stormtroopers are like, grabbing a hold of they're sitting in the vehicle, but they're grabbing hold of the vehicle.
I was leaning into BL. Well, trying to. Her hands are still bound.
Let's see. I need the other brothers.
The Blues Brothers?
All right, he got an 18. So it's a little more effort for him to resist, but he has not been sucked into the door yet. Io, you feel yourself being pulled a little bit, but with the way you're sitting down,
Yeah. For now, she's wedged.
So actually, with your hands behind your back, you really couldn't grab much, but yeah, you're kind of like wedging up against the cab, Corvus kind of slides up next to you. I think these two having a pissing contest is gonna get us all killed.
Probably. It'd be fun, though, right? Beats torture.
I bet I'll survive in a vacuum longer than you.
Probably.
Interesting decision to telekinesis herself and not the door.
Door's probably hella heavy.
Yeah, it is.
She is not hella heavy.
She's
She's
not.
quite svelte.
I was very much always look on the bright.
See, I'm just picturing Io getting, sucked out of the car. The bounty hunter reaches over and just manages to snag her head tentacles.
No,
She's flopping
please
in
no.
the wind.
No, no.
This kills
the Twi'lek.
Unfortunately, by the time the door closed, all her knowledge and mechanical and technical skills were at half their dice.
Her
Just kill
blood,
her.
however, is doubled.
Oh no!
It's gone full feral.
The air is getting thin,
No.
though, Io. It's getting harder for you to breathe.
Yep.
Is it getting any harder for the Sith as well?
She's not a Sith. Some sickly
I'm still
religious
calling.
jerk.
I'm still
She's
calling
just
her
a
that.
loyal, She's just a loyal Imperial.
Point still stands.
Her voice over the comms is getting weaker and weaker, though that's probably just the air getting thin, sound not carrying as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing with your friend's life, Captain. You hear the other Inquisitor, sister, sister. Maybe maybe we should stop.
Io, as loud as she can. If you're gonna do it, do it. She's like, I'm out.
And then you hear another psst.
She does not want to go back to torture.
So do you let all the atmosphere vent out? I'm pretty sure there's suffocation rules in the time.
He'll wait till there's barely enough, and then the door will close again.
You have a couple of minutes of the air rushing back in. You hear some heavy breathing.
Little brain damage is a treat.
And you're playing with your soldiers' lives. That's a lot more of your soldiers you could have just saved if you had stopped. But I had to focus on you.
It's important to set a precedent, Captain. Now you know that I don't bluff.
Yeah.
And that when I'm staring someone down, I don't blink.
Yes. Says the one that has never been able to really get a hold of me either.
Well, the one time I had you, I didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
you
a
were
mistake I'll make
betrayed.
again.
No. I'm sure once you're finished purging your organization of the people who freed us.
Oh, I expect I was betrayed. I don't think it was anyone in my organization, though.
How sure are you about that?
Quite sure. But I have no evidence, so my commander will not take any action against the slug.
Well. How easy for you.
Well, we'll get to hut space eventually.
It's assuming we live that long.
We essentially have the corporate sector under our control already.
For how long, though? Didn't hold the Republic for very long now, did you?
Now that was a betrayal within the organization.
Was it, though?
Captain, repressurize the station.
You give her back, and I will.
In one piece. In one piece. Come on.
And I'm sure you're well aware what I mean. If you send her in pieces,
you hear the Inquisitor. Of course, in one piece. Otherwise, it's pointless.
With no additional holes, please, and with my pulse completely intact. And no brain damage.
The only problem with that, Captain, is what's to stop you from venting the atmosphere again?
Well, because as of... And he's scanning, like, how many are still alive?
There's probably still 400. You know, like I said, a lot of them were on their ships at any given time. So
Yeah. Well,
but that still makes an awful heavy loss they've taken today.
thing is, I believe I've made my point. I don't think I'll need to vent it again.
Well, we'll certainly be careful about giving you the opportunities to.
Yeah. Maybe next time don't go cutting through all the doors.
Very well, Captain. If you want her back, you can have her. I mean, she's just a Twi'lek. But I will need you to vacate the control center.
Well, and what do you plan on doing in the control center? I'm curious.
Oh,
There's several things here that are already locked down. I can't do anything with.
Would they be even able to control the control center?
probably not, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But if you and yours withdraw from the control center, we will move into the control center, and I will release it.
And where will you be releasing her?
At the turbo lift that leads up to the control center.
And to double upon your query, what's to stop you from doing anything once we vacate?
Well, you said many things were locked down, so who knows if we'll be able to get to do anything for us. My main concern is making sure you don't repeat this little performance.
Well, if that's what you would like me to not do, leave BL with her, and I won't do it again.
You hear Corvus in the background. BL's coming with me. That was our deal.
Well, what's it going to be, Inquisitor?
I don't feel that I can give up both my bargaining chips. Clearly the droid means at least a little something to you.
Well,
but if you want the Twi'lek back, I'll give her to you for the command center. That is what I'm offering, Captain. Take it or leave it.
BL, what's your thoughts on that?
Speaking up, they've got him bricked.
I see.
I can still, you hear his voice. I can still speak.
I'm just sorry, Biel.
While that's going on, while they're talking, Ozen is doing her best to because obviously they need a light-sided presence to lock down what she can on her end without,
Yeah, that was the captain very unsubtly telling Ozen, lock this shit down.
that's what she'll be doing.
Question: can Jedi detect if there's any other of certain alignments?
Yes.
Are there any light side?
How many times was Palpatine in the room with all the Jedi Masters and they didn't detect nothing?
Maybe they didn't activate the skill.
Palpatine.
Well, the thing is, there is Sith alchemy that allows them to hide from Force sight and Force senses.
That's also Palpatine. That's
also true.
That's like saying I don't know.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You're saying the space Satan is like.
Why couldn't they see space Satan in the room?
Space Satan. That's great. I love it.
It's not terribly inappropriate from the way he described in the books, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean,
people
look
at him
also
in
a
the Force when
trickster
he's not
and
hiding, and
High charisma.
He's described as like a black hole in humanoid form.
Mm-hmm.
He's got high charisma.
Or maybe politicians are just that evil. They couldn't really tell Sith or just
The
politicians.
Jedi were just like,
Just another bureaucrat.
senators, what you gonna do?
Yeah, that's what Ozen's doing. Is she's locking shit down. At least making it so that they need a light side presence to do anything of note to or with this station.
Cool.
Nothing about this station seems to understand the difference
stuff.
between light side and the dark side.
Why does it have two seats?
Cause
So cleverly upholstered.
Because there's two siblings, and they made the crap like they wanted it.
All right, then I will then just fucking lock it down then.
All right, you do what you can.
You also
You have
have
no idea
IO
what's gonna work
stuff.
because the station can't tell the difference between you and its boss. So,
Sure.
oh, the boss locked it down. The X-Force user sits down. Oh, the boss unlocked it.
Yep.
And that's assuming that they can figure out how to work the thing. You've had some experience with it, with the tech at this point.
Yep.
But, Captain, do you agree to her demands?
Yeah.
BL never answered the question.
Oh, what did BL think of this?
Yeah.
I don't think they plan to harm me immediately. Clearly they were going to interrogate you, so harm was going to come to you immediately.
Not my first time, but you're probably right.
And besides, the captain has shown his willingness to dispose of droids whenever it's convenient.
Oh, very well. I'll agree.
All right. So they all load back up. They head back the way they came.
IO to BL. We are going to try and come back for you, right? You're part of the crew.
I'm sure you will if you have the opportunity.
R2 would miss you.
He just seems kind of resigned to whatever happens. Yes, I am sure that he would. Him and LD-14.
LD-14 does play a mean game of Sabak.
Indeed. And maybe Roger, but he has not been on the crew as long.
Yeah, he also cheats like a... Well,
Oh,
Like a what?
You noticed that.
yeah.
All right, Captain, do y'all vacate the command center as instructed?
He will once they get to the turbo lift.
All right. She gets within a few hundred yards or a few hundred meters of the turbo lift and calms you back, telling you where she's at, and she's waiting for you to come out of the turbo lift, basically.
Making sure you get here. Can't be too careful and all that, right?
That is true. And they'll inch a little closer. They're not going to come all the way up to the bay until you the turbo lift until you've left.
Off comm, like not even using comms. I'm looking at here. I'm like, are we actually doing this?
Well, how many of those panels can you make temporarily non-functional?
You have a lightsaber. Cool.
She said to vacate the place. She didn't say it had to be intact. And she's waiting for us to leave.
Shame. She pulls out a lightsaber.
And you temporarily disable some of the computers.
Somewhere IO feels a disturbance in the force.
Just the ones that at the sibling seats, or do you get like the little workstations for the Killiks as well?
I think I do the one specifically at the sibling seats.
Okay.
And before she does, he will reseal the pressure in the bays in case that can not be done anymore once the seats are damaged.
Good call.
And then he'll leave.
Okay.
I'm gonna
When
have
you
a pixel
exit,
celestial after me.
she's already got IO, like, she's gotten you out of the, out of this. Basically, you're still shackled,
Yeah.
or still hands behind your back, but you're out and you're ready to walk across.
Prisoner exchange.
She's standing, lightsaber in one hand, lit but not being held like threateningly. You got, hand on the small of your back. They have reattached BL's gun, and have basically ordered him to stand there and open fire if they order him to. One of them's got the little controller for the restraining bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a look at it, IO, you can tell it's a high-end one.
I was like, the good shit.
Only the best for the Empire.
IO internally. Could she hack that?
It's just a little thing that suctions onto like the chest area, right?
Or magnet, yeah.
Yeah.
But they also come with handheld units for the owners.
Yeah.
But there is, there's no betrayal planned here.
Uh-huh.
On their side.
Mm-hmm.
But she's more concerned about getting into the control room at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay.
It was like that when we got there, officer.
that was like lightsaber damage. She's got lightsaber. That's no mine.
It's mi dia primera.
It was the brother.
But so yeah, once y'all exit and are outside, they start advancing forward. With IO in the lead. And once they get where they can load into the turbo lift, the Inquisitor tells you, Inquisitor Haskell tells you, all right, go.
You're not gonna take. Okay.
I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again soon.
Oh, hopefully at the end of a blaster.
That's not as intimidating to a Inquisitor as you would think.
I don't know. It killed one of y'all.
And then she called out, Captain, I can't wait until the next time we meet in person. And then they go.
Yeah. About to say before she leaves, he'll just smile and say, "Be sure to put a lightsaber through your chest."
She just.
And the door closes.
Aggressive, too many teeth smiles.
Yeah, he's returning that too many teeth smile.
Does the door suddenly open, or do we just like?
No. IO can hustle over to y'all now. She's still got her hands behind her back.
You guys got my? Could you?
No, just cut it quick. Let's get a car and go.
We'll figure this out later. What did you guys do?
Disable the control consoles.
Oh, okay. So you you turned them off. Use my tools. Fantastic.
No, lightsaber.
What?
More permanent variety.
What?
None of us can use your tools. We don't know how.
This is fine. This is fine.
Yep.
Getting into the car, like just tossing her body into the car.
Doc, she's got at least 3 little cylindrical burn marks running up her arm.
Hi, Doc. I'm fine. This is fine. We'll worry about this later. Just like side flop into the car.
Doc reaches for the aloe vera dispenser. Psst.
It's just like you watch him like adjust a piece on his chest cavity. Just get some of that out.
Besides, it's not going to do much help anyway because the entire engine system has been shut off. The station can't move.
We'd have to go to the core.
Yeah, we'd have to actually get into the engineering core.
Where are we going?
Back to the droids, since we at least have ceasefire with them.
Okay.
Alright, so y'all head back to the droids.
We gotta go back for BL. I told him we'd come back.
Aware of that. I'm still thinking about how to do that.
It's also 9 o'clock.
Yes.
And that is where we are wrapping for the day.
I have been
Figured as much.
angry children like asking when dinner's going to be done, so I have to go do that.
All right.
All right.
Anyway, hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed running it. Anybody came by and watched, hope you had fun. Hope you come back next week. In the meantime, Jeremy, what else do we have going on with Dire Bear?
Tune in tomorrow for Fall Skull Nights with JT. On Thursday will be A Knight's Ransom with Pink Rambo. And then we'll cycle back over to Monday with Wild Beyond the Witchlight with we mentioned earlier with Captain Zach, and then come and see us tomorrow or next week for Remnant Shadow, a Star Wars actual play.
Till then, we'll see you.
For now.
Well, yeah, we are quickly approaching the end of the campaign.
Bye.